All right, guys, exciting topic today. Who doesn't like to talk about oral sex? I know I do. All right, today we're going to be talking about forcible sodomy. And it's not anal, guys. We're talking about oral, okay? Lee Berlin, Oklahoma's only attorney dedicated to defending guys just like you, okay, charged with crimes like sex crimes or domestic assault and battery. Just the special victim stuff. That's all I do, fellas. And today we're talking about forcible sodomy. And it's misunderstood because most people think sodomy, they're thinking anal sex, okay, right? That's what I thought when I first heard about forcible sodomy when I went to the DA's office over 15, 17 years ago. And let me tell you what, it isn't, okay? If it's anal sex, right, and it's not consensual, that's rape, guys, okay? Rape is penetration of the vagina or the anus, okay, non-consensual. So we're not talking about the anus. What we're talking about here is oral sex, okay? So guys, you forcibly going down on a girl, or you forcibly having a girl go down on you. I'm sure some of you are saying, hang on, guys, Lee, what about the gals, right? Can't they get charged with it? Of course they can, but they never do. I have yet to have a case yet where a woman comes in on a single count of forcible oral sodomy where the complaining person was a guy that said he did not want that blowjob. Okay, it just doesn't happen. Haven't seen it yet. When it does, I hope they come to me because hell's freezing over. All right, so forcible sodomy carries up to 20 years in prison. Okay, guys, that actually carries more time in prison than second-degree rape does. Remember when in that video, we're talking that only carries up to 15 years, 1 to 15 years in prison on a second-degree rape. Okay? But if you engage in oral sex, okay, that'll carry 5 additional years. So this is not a lesson about, guys, if you're going to go do something, do this, not that. Absolutely not. Don't commit any of these crimes. But what you need to know is, if you are engaged in this type of conduct, and this really isn't just the forcing yourself on them. This is also all that stuff that we talk about with rape. Okay? If there's an age difference, you're an adult and they're under the age of 16, that's rape. Okay? Well, here also, if you're an adult and they're under 16, that's forcible sodomy in Oklahoma. Okay? So if oral sex is performed, it carries up to 20. But if actual, traditional, regular sex occurs between this adult and a person under the age of 16, it only carries 15 years in prison. So yes, you'll get 5 more years for going down than you will for the actual act of sex in Oklahoma. Okay, so now, forcible oral sodomy is exactly what we talked about at the beginning of the video, where there's that forcible aspect. Okay? And that force actually is either through physical force or some types of threat, where the person believed that through some type of force or they call fear of great bodily harm or injury, then unless they either allow you to do that or they or feel that they're forced to do it to you. Okay, so they're either going to have oral sex with you or you with them, and it's forcible. So you're actually exerting some type of physical force upon the person against their will. It's non-consensual. Okay? Also, just like in rape, where the person is intoxicated to the point that they don't have the capacity to consent anymore, okay, and you know about that, that's a crime. That's forcible sodomy as well. If that oral sex takes place and the person's unconscious, that is forcible sodomy as well. The same relationships that we talk about, okay, as far as governmental employees, school teachers, family members, all of that, like in rape, exists here in forcible sodomy as well. So it's not just really force, it's all of those same conditions for which rape can occur, so can forcible sodomy. And a great example of the injustice, or of the perverse justice, I guess if you will, is that the oral aspect of it, the oral aspect alone carries 5 more years than the actual normal penis and it entering the vagina or the anus of the other. So guys, I also need you to know, and it's going to suck when it happens, and I'm being honest, it's going to suck when it happens. if you are being charged for rape, more than likely you're also going to be looking at a forcible sodomy charge. You're also be looking at a sexual battery charge. They like to stack these, to be honest with you. Most of the time I don't just see a single count of forcible sodomy. I usually see this charge stacked with another sex crime, usually rape. So you might be looking at let's say it's a second-degree rape. You could have a second-degree rape count that only carries up to 15, but they could also stack with it a forcible sodomy charge. Okay? Again, the reason that's happening isn't because you're exerting force or fear. The reason that you're being charged with that is because of the age difference between the parties. You're an adult and they're under the age of 16. So if you engage in that normal type of sexual act where there's foreplay involved, and your hand happens to touch the private parts of their body, that's the sexual battery. If oral sex is involved before actual penetration of the vagina by the penis, well, you're looking at a forcible sodomy charge as well. So you can stack this thing, 15 on the first, the rape, the second degree rape, 20, and then another 10 on the battery. And so it's through that stacking of these counts that 15 turns into 35, turns into 45. And what will blow your mind is in Oklahoma, the Department of Corrections calculates a life sentence as 45 years. That's how they can take, guys, if you're 18, 19 years old and you're looking at a second-degree rape charge, that's how it can turn into the equivalent of a life sentence. And we're not even talking about lifetime registration as a sex offender as well. So, very serious charge. We see it usually buried in other cases with other counts. And it's not a throwaway count. Okay? The issues that are associated, the elements that are associated here that they have to be proved are separate and distinct. And it is a separate count and a separate range of punishment that you can incur at the hands of a judge, a prosecutor, or a jury. So if you have questions or concerns about the way that you've been charged, you don't think it's right or fair or just, take a look at the website. Go ahead and pick up the phone and order one of our books. Man, I'm giving these things away to guys just like you that don't understand what the hell's going on. I don't care if you have another attorney, okay? We're giving them away just to educate people about what the hell is going on in their case. Check back here often. We got plenty of other videos, lots of free stuff. Call us up, get one. I'm not gonna harass you, try to bring you in here. Just ask for us to send you the book, no charge. We'll pay for the postage. All right, this lead trying to keep one guy out of jail today, one video at a time. Hell now, one book at a time. Till the next one.